Hello everyone, this is Mayuri Mudliar and welcome to Prep Cook Live. Today we're going to make this instant Shahi Tukda and Gulab Jamun, and how are we going to do it instantly is with few leftover breads. So we are going to make both of these sweet with leftover breads, and they are instant, they are quick, and you can do it at a very easy way. So let's begin. Let's see first what we have here with me. So I have these breads. There are a couple of them inside. I have used the entire pack and there are just about, I guess, 2 or 3 left inside. So we got to use this and make both our desserts. Let me just show you. And as it is, if there are just 3 breads left, and you can't do much with it as well apart from making a sandwich, so it's better that we use it for dessert. So like you can see, there are 2 full breads and one is a side bread which is not even like a full bread. So we are going to use 1 bread for making Shahi Tukda and we are going to use 2 breads for making Gulab Jamun. So we'll do both the process side by side. First, what we are going to do is this one side bread, and the other bread I am just going to make it in pieces and add it to this bowl. This way. Just break them randomly and add it. Keep this aside. And now for this one bread, I am going to cut its edges. Be careful, we don't really want to chop off a big chunk. Just the edges, as thin as possible, you can just cut it off. And these edges also we are not going to waste. We will add it to the same bowl in which we put the pieces of other breads. Keep this aside. And I'm going to cut this from middle like a slant cut. You can also make square pieces or cut this further into smaller triangles. So it's totally up to you. I am going to keep this aside and we are going to make a rabdi first. This is a very instant quick rabdi. It doesn't take too much time. So I'm just going to add 1/4 cup of milk first. Now I'm making very less quantity as I have only 1 bread left for Shahi Tukda, but it depends on how many breads you have. You can double up the quantity that way. So this is 1/4 cup of milk. We have to just bring this to a little boil, like not boil, make it warm. Now to this I am adding half a tablespoon of sugar and I am adding 1 tablespoon of condensed milk or mithai mate or whatever you call it. It's condensed milk, 1 tablespoonful I am adding. And we have to mix this now and cook it on medium flame or low flame, and we are going to allow this sugar to melt. Mix this very well because the condensed milk and milk needs to get mixed very well, otherwise it will you will end up getting flakes at the bottom of the pan. So mix this well, combine both of them really well, and we are going to allow this to come to a boil. Sugar is almost dissolved, just a minute more and I think it should be done. Now this technique is really important, so do observe this carefully. Milk is started coming to boil, like you can see. Do not keep mixing it, otherwise you will not get malai on top. You will need malai on top for this recipe, so allow this to boil a little bit. Keep the flame medium only. And now you can see the malai started going towards the edges. What you have to do is carefully just stick the malai toward the corner of the pan. This way, like I'm showing you. Just put it at the corner of the pan. You have to do this step about 3 to 4 times till you get good amount of malai at the side. You can see my second layer is also come, and I'm going to stick this as well to the side of the pan. Leave it boiling again every time you do this, and once you see that malai layer is coming, you're going to put it on sides. If you're making this in larger quantity, you may have to take the malai out more than 4 to 5 times. Now 4 times I have taken this out for this little milk, and now you have to scrape the edges. You're right, you have to just take all the malai back in the milk, and on like increase the flame a little and keep mixing this continuously to get a very thick consistency of milk. So I'm going to just keep scraping the sides and the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to keep mixing it. Now I'm doing this in a non-stick pan. Somebody who's not doing in a non-stick pan, be very careful, because if you end up burning, you'll get the burnt smell in this. I'm continuously stirring this, and you can see milk is started to thicken. This is done. I have taken it out in a bowl and kept it aside. Now I'm going to make the sugar syrup. For it, I'm adding half a cup of sugar, and we are going to add half a cup of water as well to this. There you go, half a cup of water. You don't need a very thick sugar syrup for this, so double the proportion is fine, like half a cup of sugar, half a cup of water, or 1 cup sugar if you're taking 1 cup water, that way. Now I'm going to add 3 more things to this sugar syrup. It's optional. I'm adding 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom powder for flavor. I'm adding 4 to 5 strands of kesar. This is also optional. And I'm adding 1 teaspoon of rose water. You can also add dried rose petals if you have, or you can completely skip this. It's okay. You can only add elaichi powder, and that will also give you a good taste. But if you do have all the 3 things, do add it. You will get a really good and rich sugar syrup. If you have leftover sugar syrup of the gulab jamun or any other sweet you had made few days back, you can use that sugar syrup as well. You need not make this again. We'll stir this continuously, and we'll allow all the sugar to melt and the mixture to thicken a little bit. You don't have to thicken it too much till you get a thread consistency, just a little thick, and that's enough. I'm going to take it out in this container and keep it aside. Now I'm heating 2 tablespoons of ghee in a pan. This is for the shahi tukda frying. You don't have to deep fry it. I mean, you can, but it's not necessary. You can do this in, I'm doing it in ghee because it gives a good flavor. So you can add just a spoonful or 2 spoonfuls of ghee in a white pan and then do it, rather than just deep frying the complete thing. I am putting the bread. Be careful. Put both the breads, and we have to flip this over and roast this till the time this becomes good golden red color. It becomes crispy. You have to do it. Keep it on medium flame. We don't want the breads to burn, but you have to roast this very well. Like, it shouldn't be soft, it should become nice and crispy. So you have to fry this till they become golden brown. Like you can see, I have flipped one of the breads, and you have to continue doing this till you get good color on both the sides. I'll show you once it's done. Here you can see how this become nice and crispy. I'm going to keep this aside in a plate. And we are going to prepare for gulab jamun now. So these are the breadcrumbs that we had taken. I am adding 1/4 cup of milk. Now this would also depend on your bread, so don't go ahead and directly add 1/4 cup. Just add a little and try to bind the bread and milk both together. By putting them together, you'll have to use your hands for this. Just mix it up to form a dough, but the dough should be of a normal thickness, like you need not make it very liquidy, so don't add too much milk at once. Add little by little and try to form a dough this way. Now take small portions and make round balls out of it. You'll be able to do this easily because it's bread. Mix this way, make it round in round balls and keep it aside. So this mixture is going to give me 4 of them, so it depends again on how many breads are you using for this recipe, and how many you want to make, you can just double up. So all these 4 are ready. You have to just deep fry them in oil or ghee, whatever you want. So I'm just going to go deep fry these. So it's ready now. Our Shahi Tukra breads are ready. Our fried gulab jamuns are ready. Then we have our rabdi that we made. We have sugar syrup and we have some grated almond and pista and cashew flakes. You can use it, it's optional. And the rabdi, as you can see, is come to room temperature. So I'm just going to put it on a plate first. And we will just spread this, put all of it there and just spread it a little bit. You can put this while you're serving actually, because then else you'll start losing the crunch. Now take both the Shahi Tukra bread pieces and dip it in sugar syrup. You don't have to keep it dipped in sugar syrup, you just have to dip it for about say half a minute or less than that, and then we will take it out immediately. We don't want it to become soft, it has to have the crunch there. So just flip it from both sides, leave it in for about a minute and just take it out. Remove all the excess sugar syrup and we'll place this on the rabdi. Oops. Here. The other one as well. And now I'm going to add all 4 of the gulab jamun to the sugar syrup. When you're doing this, ensure that the sugar syrup is a little warm, otherwise it will not, like all the gulab jamun will not be able to soak the syrup well. So the syrup needs to be a little warm and the gulab jamun will be hot because you've just taken it out. Add it in immediately. Also, this is an instant sweet, so do not put it in the fridge, otherwise the gulab jamun balls you may see will become a little more thick to eat. So do not keep it in the fridge. I'm just adding a little sugar syrup on top of it. I'm going to add a little of dry fruits on these as well. These are to be consumed immediately after making. I'll just show you a close-up. There you go. So both are yummy, delicious, instant, very quick, you can say, desserts are ready. That also, all this platter of dessert is ready with just 3 leftover breads. Hope you've liked my recipe. Do subscribe to my channel. See you until next time in the kitchen of Prep Cook Live.